Hey guys, Moose here. I'm here with 11 starter tips for Dragon Quest builders, which comes out today if you're watching this video the day it goes up. I unfortunately do not really have the time or ability to record actual gameplay to go along with each of these tips to illustrate exactly what it is. Hopefully I will in the future, but for now I just have basic gameplay from the demo that I was playing earlier this week, I think. Anyway, tip number 1 is consider building a wall around your town right off the bat when you start out. The reason for this is, of course, that your town will be attacked at certain points by monsters, and choke points are always helpful because it'll get all the monsters in one place. You know, that's kind of the same thing in most games. So if you build a choke point, it'll help you defend it, help your NPCs defend it. So just something to consider doing, not necessarily strictly necessary if you don't want to, if you don't like how it looks aesthetically, because this will be dirt early on, but something to consider if you want an easier time with the combat. Tip number 2, make a point to gather basic materials. This is kind of a common theme throughout any kind of survival sandboxy sort of game with crafting. If you run into something that you may need down the road, it's better to get it while you're there, wherever you're exploring, and bring it back and stockpile it, rather than have to run out and find it when you actually need it. It'll save you time, and you won't have to worry about gathering stuff when you wind up needing it. Number 3, do at least some of the main story quests, and the reason for this is because it'll help you unlock some recipes and different things that will make it easier for you to do what you want to do later on in the game if you're playing it just as a sandbox game rather than worrying about the RPG elements. The reason, part of it is that there are some buffs that you can get that'll make you run faster, gather faster. There's a lot of different things, as I understand it, that you can get. So it's good to at least get to the point where you've unlocked a good number of things so that you have an easier time of doing whatever it is you would like to do in the game. Tip number 4, focus on getting new materials whenever possible. The reason for this is pretty simple. It can unlock new recipes. So if you see something you haven't seen before, make sure you kill it or punch it or break it, whatever you need to do to get the materials out of it, and that will help you unlock some recipes that you may not have otherwise gotten at that point. Number 5, lots of side quests are available, so keep an eye out as you explore, and of course, along with that, explore. There's lots to find. Even in the demo, the first NPC that you find, other than the one that you start with, is just built into a dirt hut with no way out. He was just stuck there. So you go save him. And he's just sitting there. You can find him without having a quest to go find him. Apparently you get a quest to go do it. I never got that because I just ran into the hut and broke it and he was there. So something to consider doing while you're out exploring or looking for materials. Tip number 6, you can climb fast by holding R1, jumping, and then placing a block right after you jump. This is not news to anyone who's played Minecraft, I think. It's a pretty common practice, and that's where I got it from. Apparently not a lot of people playing DQB do it. They're more likely to build stairs, but if you need something quicker than stairs or more vertical than stairs, this is one option. Uses less materials too. Similar to that, holding L1 and R1 at the same time lets you place blocks on your level more precisely. It's a little hard to explain what that exactly correlates to, but if you're playing the game and you hold L1 and R1, you'll understand exactly what I mean. I forget what number 1. Blueprints are useful, but if you don't want to worry about designing your own buildings. If you're not really playing to make buildings and design stuff, just use blueprints. It's nothing wrong with it. Number 9, I think. Make sure rooms have chests because NPCs will make stuff for you. This is a big one. They don't use your materials, at least in the demo, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in the main game. You can basically get just free stuff, which is amazing. This is so great, especially for food, because you will need food, and having NPCs just cooking stuff randomly for you without ever using your materials is fantastic. It helps a ton. Some of the stuff is a little less useful for, like furniture. You know, you may not need the particular piece of furniture they craft, but for a lot of things it's very valuable. So make sure you put chests in rooms that have crafting stuff in them. Number 10, consider waiting to rebuild the majority of your town so you have more recipes or for decorations and you can make it look nicer overall. To some extent, you're not going to be able to do this because I think you need to level up the town just to get going, to unlock the main story stuff that will get you to the point where you have more recipes unlocked. But just something to think about. Try and balance it if you want to minimize the amount of work you have to do to get your town looking nice. And finally, tip number 11, and this is probably the most important one, there is no autosave function. This is going to cause a lot of problems for me, I know that, and it'll probably cause a lot of problems for a lot of other people as well. There is no autosave, so make sure that you save your game when you're done playing. The flag is where you can save, so it'll be the center of town probably. Just something to consider. So anyway, hopefully that was useful. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the game if you picked it up. Take care.